So when you decide in advance to do things and you set goals and then you achieve them, it tells your subconscious and unconscious brain that you are capable. And then what else can I do? What else can I do? What else can I do? So the formula is state, prove, self-assign. State that you're going to do something. I'm going to go to the gym tomorrow. Prove to yourself that you go. Keep the promise you make to yourself. And then once you go, make sure you self-assign it. Unfortunately, this is all happening subconsciously and unconsciously. And a lot of people are not building self-belief internally. Facebook memory of the day is a really good way to rewatch the movie of your life. And to re-reflect on your poor choices, but also to reflect on what you did have right. Yeah. And I think that all of us, it's like your phone, right? Your phone updates. This is the iPhone 16 Pro Max, and it updates iOS 18.1 and 18.7. And so our software is what we say, think, do, feel, and believe. Our hardware is our central nervous system, peripheral nervous system, unconscious, subconscious, conscious mind. And human beings are the same way. You can update your hardware, software, firmware, and your operating system. And of course, when you look back, you should be embarrassed. Of course. Yeah. That means you've grown.
Welcome everyone to another episode of Your Lab Central. Today I have with me Alan. So Alan, would you like to tell our audience why they should be excited about this content?
So the reason you should be excited for this is I track everything. I'm a computer engineer, so everything's numbers for me, and I have 11,193 coaching sessions, trainings, and podcasts under my belt. And I've spent the last 10 years trying to help people reach their full potential. And most importantly, what I've found over time is a unique thing that I do is I help people reverse engineer their goals and dreams. Because I've found over time that a lot of people are actually winging it. And they're stumbling upon persons, places, things, and ideas, and then wondering why they ended up where they ended up. And for me, everything, as an engineer, everything is by design. And while not everyone wants to live their entire life by design like I do, I know that a little more structure and a little more design can really help people achieve their goals.
No, I understand. I actually relate to the fact that a lot of people are winging it because I am winging a lot of things in life. So just taking it from that step forward about winging it, why are people actually preferring to wing it rather than, if you've seen a trend, right? You've been through so many training sessions. Have you seen a reason as to why people actually just do it rather than having a structure before going about it?
Yeah, so I actually have up here, I have a speech I'm giving later today to 5th graders. So it's a school called ICL Academy, and it's 5th graders. It's a student orientation for the fall. 5th graders all the way to 12th graders. And the name of the training is How to Reverse Engineer Your Goals and Dreams. And I'm looking at the Canvas slide right now, and I open with some stats. So to answer your question, statistic 1 is only 3% of people have clear written goals for their future. Statistic 2 is 13% have goals but not in writing and often lack follow-through. And the remaining 84% have no specific goals at all. So you asked me why that is. I think the number one reason why that is, having worked with people from all over the world now, is they don't believe in themselves. It sounds overly simplistic, but there's something in psychology known as self-efficacy. Self-efficacy is your belief in your own ability to achieve the outcomes that you want. So why would someone say they're going to get straight A's if they didn't believe they were capable of it? And here's the problem. It's a catch-22. Because if you don't believe in yourself, you're not going to set goals. But if you don't set goals, you're not going to gain evidence that you actually are capable. Right. So it's a catch-22. So for me, my business partner, his name's Kevin, and he didn't believe in himself. And he was doing what I call stumbling upon success.
Okay.
And he wasn't building self-efficacy. He was an all-star baseball player, but he never decided in advance to be an all-star baseball player. So what I've realized in hindsight is that he ended up stumbling upon being a great baseball player. And I told him this. I said, brother, imagine if you actually tried. Imagine if you said in advance, I'm going to do whatever it takes to become an all-star. He probably could have been in the MLB, Major League Baseball. He still doesn't agree with me, but he I think, sells himself short. And I said, brother, I didn't get straight A's just because I was smart. I decided in advance to get straight A's. And I decided in advance to go to WPI, which is the college I went to. I decided in advance to boom, boom, boom. So when you decide in advance to do things and you set goals and then you achieve them, it tells your subconscious and unconscious brain that you are capable. And then what else can I do? What else can I do? What else can I do? So the formula is state, prove, self-assign. State that you're going to do something. I'm going to go to the gym tomorrow. Prove to yourself that you go. Keep the promise you make to yourself. And then once you go, make sure you self-assign it. Unfortunately, this is all happening subconsciously and unconsciously. And a lot of people are not building self-belief internally. So it's this catch-22 where you need to set goals in order to build belief, but you need belief in order to set goals. And that is the number one issue I've found at helping people achieve their dreams is they don't believe in themselves deep down, but they think that they do. And then there's other people who do believe in themselves deep down a ton. They always take action, they always follow through, but they actually don't think they believe in themselves that much.
Yeah. Now, okay. So let me put I don't know if that's a twist or, so we have a plan. We take action on it. Okay. Everything seems to be going fine, but it falls. Right.
Mm-hmm.
The plan doesn't end up the way it is supposed to be, right?
Yeah, always.
And always, and I mean like 90% of the situations. So how do
100%.
you get back online? Because yeah, you have built self-belief to get into a plan and then get started, but then things did not fall through.
So the scientific method, again, simple fundamentals here, is you have a hypothesis. I believe I can get straight A's in high school.
Yeah.
Then you test that hypothesis and see if you can. I got 189 in honors English, Miss Desilets. I never took honors English again. Luckily, it was a weighted honors class, so it technically was an A, but it was weighted. Mm-hmm. And the scientific method is basically you have a hypothesis, you test it, and then you observe the results, and then you draw a conclusion. The conclusion we're drawing. So what happens to someone when they have no experiments? Right. So I set no goal, so I take no action. I take no action, so I get no results. And my results don't update my software or my understanding of myself. So I don't build self-efficacy or self-belief, which are the same thing, basically. And so what do you do when you fail? So I have a framework called micro failure for macro success, which is a growth mindset. And then I have something called micro success for macro failure, which is I call it the doom loop. So the success loop and the doom loop.
Yeah.
The doom loop is I don't believe in myself, so I don't try. When I don't try, I don't have to fail. When I don't fail, I don't get any pain. When I don't get any pain, I don't contemplate. When I don't contemplate, I don't learn. When I don't learn, I don't make better choices. And when I don't make better choices, I don't get better results. So you get to look good in the moment at the expense of your future.
That's right.
And what you have to do is flip the script, and you have to fail forward. So the success loop is I believe in myself, so I give it a try. Right. I inevitably fail because nothing ever goes as well as you hope it will.
Yeah.
Then you get pain because failure hurts. Then you contemplate yourself, others in the world, which helps you learn. Mm-hmm. Then you buy a book or a course or you get a coach or something. You do some sort of go back to the drawing board, which then makes you make better choices, and then you get more success eventually. So one of them is you get to look good in the moment at the expense of your future and not get failure, but you don't try. The other one is you try, and you basically get bludgeoned with pain and suffering and failure, and you basically look like a failure, but you're actually winning in the long term.
Mm-hmm. Now that's something, I mean, in some form or the other, a lot of people have said, right? You've created a proper framework, a way of thinking, a structured approach. Other people have said it that you try unless you win, right? But again, I just want to further that question again to the point that the person is just not, has hit rock bottom at some point in their life, right? And hitting rock bottom is obviously a lot of pain for most people that are out there, right? Unless somebody is out there who doesn't care at where they are, they will still be trying. That's a different level of mindset where people are. That's just how people are sometimes. But then for the regular person who's out there, leveling up to the mindset where rock bottom doesn't make a difference to you. Has it ever happened? Have you seen somebody and what did you do?
Yeah. So we used to have a saying, Kevin and I, where you won't get to hell yes until you go all the way to hell no.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, I'll give you my most recent one.
Mm-hmm.
I have an 18-person team We have a podcast called Next Level University. We now work with 113 business owners and podcasters, and we just got our first $100,000 client. Okay. I'm very, very grateful. And we started from $0. The first year we made $0. Second year we made $13,000 between the two of us, and then it's been exponential from then.
Yeah.
Couple tough years, couple really big years. What I would say to this is the thing that I'm going through, you never get to hell yes until you first go to hell no. Mm-hmm. I got in a car accident at 26.
Okay.
And my dad died in a car when he was 28 when I was 2 in 1991. So when I was 26, this is 2015, I got in a car accident and it was my fault. Head-on collision, not a fender bender. This was bad. Fortunately, no one was killed or physically injured, at least not permanently. We were definitely rattled. But that's my hell no. That's when I realized I was not reaching my full potential. So before that, in hindsight, I was trying to be liked and likable. Uh-huh. And I had high school friends and I had college friends and I had corporate friends. And I cared about the social world more than my world.
Yeah.
And I think that we all have to live in two worlds. We have to live in the real world and we have to live in the social world. The social world, the metaphor I use is, the social world is the wedding photos. The real world is the actual marriage. And so I fell victim to this idea that the social world, they both matter. Yeah. You have to have one of them is your reputation in the marketplace. The other one is your character behind the scenes, who you are and what you are when no one's watching.
Yeah.
But syntax matters. It should be real world first, who you are and what you are when no one's watching, and then ripple that outward into the social world. But if you focus on the social world at the expense of your real world, you're in some trouble. So my point of this is when I got in that car accident, I realized essentially that I had been playing the wrong game. I had my syntax wrong. I was trying to be liked, and I was trying to be likable, and I was trying not to be abandoned. And then I realized that the only thing I dislike more than being disliked is not reaching my full potential.
Okay.
And I used to be naive. I used to think I can be a better person. I can physical, mental, emotional, spiritual. I can grow and I can be better and I can work on myself and I can get in shape and people will like me more. That is atrociously not the case. The more I've worked on myself, the harder and harder and harder it has become to build meaningful friendships and relationships, because essentially I had an ex once who said dating you is like dating a Stairmaster. You never stop. And I can be very exhausting at times. I'm very focused. I haven't taken a full day off in 10 years. Sometimes it's an hour a day, sometimes it's 10 hours a day. But my point of all this is I had to get to hell no and face mortality with my car accident in order to go all in. So the rock bottom piece, there's truth to it. It's what's called an ego death. Uh-huh. We all have these 3 layers of the ego. We have what we want others to believe about us, we have what we want to believe about us, and then we have the truth.
Yeah.
The car accident collapsed those layers of the ego. It's known as an ego death. You can look this up. Mm-hmm. And basically everything you thought about yourself was not wrong. Some of us are better than we thought, some of us are worse than we thought. But at the end of the day, ego death is painful because it's identity stuff.
Right.
You know, you thought your dreams would happen, maybe not. You thought your friends would stick around, maybe not. That's mine for sure. So the only thing that I dislike more than being villainized and disliked is not reaching my full potential. And I realized somewhere along the lines that I can't reach my full potential and be liked.
That's true. Now that's intense, right? Because you're trying to reach your full potential, but you're also you can't be a person who's always out there to get liked by everybody else, because in that process you have to go out and do things which other people might not like, right? Your circle might not like the things you have to go into.
You have 1,000 reputations every time you do something, right? You give a speech in front of 1,000 people, that's 1,000 different reputations, but there's still only one character.
Yeah.
And in order to make positive change in this world, you have to go do things that are uncomfortable for others. And some people will love it. I call them the growers. Some people will quiet quit and abandon and leave and filter out. And then some of them will attack you and they'll chop you down. Mm-hmm. And there's no way around it. It's the unfortunate part of being a leader. Mm-hmm. I kind of hate it, to be honest with you, but it is necessary. And like I said, the only thing I hate more than being hated is not reaching my full potential. So Yeah, it's been pretty bad, honestly. Socially, it's been bad. In real life, growth is amazing. In the social world, growth is atrociously bad.
Yeah. Since we are on the topic of social life, I just wanted to ask, because you also mentioned you have a podcast of your own. How's your interaction with social media per se, not just social life? Yeah, if you want to share how you've been leveraging social media in this whole journey, if you could.
Yeah, I started social media 10 years ago, and I went all in from the get. I was a fitness model, fitness competitor, fitness coach. I started a company after my car accident. It was called Lazaros LLC, what you'll never learn in school but desperately need to know. I wanted to bring personal development to the school systems. Good luck getting speeches at high schools and colleges with that tagline, right? But I found personal growth, personal development, and self-improvement, and I thought that was the answer. And it is, I think. Mm-hmm. And I started social media. I started on Instagram. And I started posting content that was growth oriented. I've been doing social media for now 10 years. As a matter of fact, let me pull up my Instagram right now. I have 3,333 posts starting from 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And I try to post every day. And here's what I would say. Over the last decade, the lines between professional and personal have gotten very blurry.
Yeah.
And I've been a podcaster for 8 years, and I've had a personal brand for 10. Mm-hmm. What is a personal brand? So back in the day, 40, 50 years ago, Coca-Cola was one of the most successful companies in the world, and no one really knew the CEO.
Yeah.
The consumer of the product was not aware of who the CEO was. There was a big separation between personal and professional.
Yeah.
Now, and again, I don't like to be associated with anybody because I've met enough of my heroes over the years to realize that a lot of them are not who I thought they were. But so don't associate me with him at all. But Elon Musk, for example, is more famous than any one of his companies. Mm-hmm. So Jeff Bezos is Amazon, and Elon Musk is Tesla and SpaceX and all that kind of stuff. So the point is that as the CEO of the company, you have to have, I don't want to say you have to, it would be very hard for you to succeed in the consumer marketplace without any social media. So I always say this, I say social media is an eventuality, and you don't necessarily want to go all in on TikTok, but you do want to go all in on social media. Social media will always be around. In the future, I think. And again, unless something catastrophic happens, but you know what I'm saying. Most likely. So I don't go all in on any one social media platform, but I do go all in on social media in general. Mm-hmm. And so I use Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. And I think it's been very challenging for me to figure out where I want my line to be between personal and professional, because I have 2,200 episodes, coming up on 2,200 episodes on the internet that anyone could listen to, and some of them are very personal. And I think the 21st century has really, really, really become very integrated between personal and professional, and that's why there was the Me Too movement and all kinds of stuff are coming out. And I think technology is connecting us in ways that weren't possible before the internet, and I think that's going to exponentially continue. I'm a computer engineer, so I'm not just saying this. This is stuff I study. But what I will say is there used to be Coca-Cola, the CEO and the company, and then the consumer. Now it's very much all one. If you drive a Tesla, you also probably know Elon. And it's this, Elon's reputation affects the company's performance.
That's right.
And this is why Tiger Woods, Nike backed out, Michael Jordan, the whole thing. So the point that I'm making is personal brand and professional companies are no longer separate. And we have to embrace that and hopefully handle it with integrity and respect. And I think I've handled it okay. I was a fitness model in the past, so there's not a lot of business coaches that also have, them in their underwear on the internet, but that's my life. Mm-hmm. And it's very hard because I'm 36 now, so I'm Allen version 3.6. And I have posts from Allen version 2.6 that I wouldn't have posted at Allen version 3.6. So it's the inevitable thing we all have to go through and grow through. And I think the only wrong answer is to not get in the game.
No, Now, since you mentioned this, that you have posts from Alan 2.6, which you've not posted. So the internet never forgets, as a lot of people say, right? How do you
No, it does not.
if you had to put a finger on the pain point here, if you have to go around some things that you've done in the past, or if you're going doing background checks on an employee that you want.
Yep. Okay. I do something called Facebook Memory of the Day every day. And it's been one of the best habits I've ever done. I've been tracking habits for 10 years. I used to do it in these little black notebooks. Now I digitized it. I used to have flashcards. I want to save the trees, so now it's all digitized. All my clients, all my team members, we all track metrics and habits every single day. Mm-hmm. Facebook Memory of the Day is one of my habits. So if I pull up Facebook right now and you go to the bottom right menu and then you click Memories, it'll come up with basically everything you've ever posted on Facebook on this day.
Yeah. Yes.
So I'm looking at a post from 2 years ago. I'm looking at a post from 3 years ago. I'm looking at 1 year ago. This is 7 years ago. So I posted this 7 years ago. There's no doubt it's the journey where joy, happiness, and fulfillment is, but how much of that journey will be predicated on the destination you choose in advance? It's a great post. Okay, well, I really like that post and I still agree with that post, but there's some other ones in here that I'm not a fan of. Let me give you an example. So from 16 years ago, I posted, so this is August 27th, 2009, in Worcester for now, but be home later tonight, then back to Worcester for class tomorrow at 11. This is back when only college students were on Facebook, and I was a sophomore in college. Mm-hmm. So I think that Facebook Memory of the Day is a really good way to rewatch the movie of your life. And to re-reflect on your poor choices, but also to reflect on what you did have right. Yeah. And I think that all of us, it's like your phone, right? Your phone updates. This is the iPhone 16 Pro Max, and it updates iOS 18.1 and 18.7. And so our software is what we say, think, do, feel, and believe. Our hardware is our central nervous system, peripheral nervous system, unconscious, subconscious, conscious mind. And human beings are the same way. Mm-hmm. You can update your hardware, software, firmware, and your operating system. And of course, when you look back, you should be embarrassed. Of course. Yeah. That means you've grown. So I give speeches, and I always ask this in my speeches. I'm probably going to do it later, although it won't work later because some of them are in high school still. But I usually will give a speech to, let's say, a group of grad students, and let's say they're all in their 20s in an MBA program. I'll say, who here can think of something really dumb they did in high school? And every hand goes up. Yeah. And I always say, who here would never do that again? Hands go up. Mm-hmm. I said, okay, why? The reason you would never do that again is because you are now, as an older, wiser individual, knowledge plus experience plus reflection, understand the long-term consequences of that terrible choice. Yeah. Or the potential long-term consequences. For me, I have a terrible choice I made that luckily turned out okay. But I was taking some risks I shouldn't have taken. Mm-hmm. When you get older and wiser, and you have higher awareness of yourself, others, and the world, hopefully you make better and better choices. And then, yeah, of course you're going to regret some of the young ones. What I would say is use it as a lesson, use it to learn. I think you reflect on the past in order to learn. You use the present to build, and then toward a bigger, better, brighter future. And I think that that's all happening simultaneously. So the last thing I'll say about this, most people are focused way too much, in my opinion, on current position. Yeah, I'm a big math guy. Current position is 1 point on the graph. So all of us are born naked, scared, and ignorant, and then we become more aware, we grow. And most people are worried about what they're driving right now, where they live right now, how they look right now, the clothes they're wearing right now, the relationship they're in right now. I think that the now is actually a byproduct of the trajectory. I actually know that it is. Yeah. So in a year from now, my now will be what I'm planning on now. Right. And so if your future is not designed, you're in some trouble. So if you don't have a good trajectory, so all my clients, I have 24 clients right now, I tell them, I don't care about your now at all. I only care about your trajectory. Because if your trajectory is positive,
Okay.
Your future is bright. If your trajectory is positive, time is your friend. If your trajectory is negative, time is your enemy, and your future is dark. So I had a really tough childhood, like beyond what I could explain here. But my future was always bright. And I always went back to the drawing board, back to the drawing board, back to the drawing board, just like they do with research and development with the iPhone. I've done that with myself, others in the world, and I've tried to make better and better and better choices. And Allen version 3.6 is far more capable, far more aware, far more effective, far stronger, and far smarter than Allen version 2.6. But I guarantee you at Allen 4.6, I'm going to think I was a complete and utter moron.
Yeah. That's the whole goal, right? Growing as a person on an everyday basis. Because I don't know where I read it, but 99% every day over the year, and this being 0.99 every day over a year, and being 1.01 every day over a year.
James Clear.
Yeah.
Yep. 37 times better at the end of the year, or you go almost all the way to zero.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. And by the way, almost all the way to zero in that metaphor means you stay the same.
Yeah.
Whereas if you get 1% better per day for an entire year, you end up 37 times better. And if you do it for another year, you end up 37 times better than that.
Mm-hmm.
I grow my company. My goal is to grow by 7% every quarter.
Okay.
So there's 4 quarters in a year. 7% quarter over quarter leads to 30% year over year, which leads to doubling your company every 3 years.
Yeah.
And if you can double your company every 3 years, you become very successful very quickly. But the way that you do that is by growing yourself, growing your team, becoming more effective. Yeah, so sorry to interrupt you, but I think that that's people think that you have to do these huge leaps and bounds. No!
Small steps.
I have it written on my whiteboard right here, 0.1% improvement every day for 50 years. If you put $1 in a financial calculator, $1 in a financial calculator, and you grow it, you can do this. Don't do it in ChatGPT though, because ChatGPT does it wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, ChatGPT is not great with numbers. Okay, put $1 in a financial calculator, Google it, $1 in a financial calculator, grow it by 0.1% per day for 50 years. It becomes almost $84 million. It's 83 something, I rounded up. 84 million. If you take weekends off, it becomes $439,000, which is 191 times less.
Yeah.
Just from taking weekends off. My point of this is you don't have to grind every day, but you do have to get a little better every day. It's called the compound effect. The law of compounding is the most powerful thing in the world. People get it with money.
Yeah.
They don't get it with personal development. And I'm really hoping that that rubs off, because I would be unrecognizable to myself 10 years ago. I didn't work out. I wasn't in shape. So it's unbelievable what's possible long term. What's possible tomorrow is very little. What's possible long term is unbelievable.
Now, I had a question in mind somewhere, but that question got lost, or probably we just had the answer for that. Now, so before we close, we've just had an amazing conversation here. We went from frameworks and structures for growth, and then we're back on growth again. So just amazing how, but we also included social media in between. So before we close, where can people get in touch with you if you want to know more about it?
Thank you. So social media, Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn, as I already mentioned. You can Google my name, you can ChatGPT me, I should come up. And what I would say is this. I used to try to help everybody. And I now realize the lack of understanding in that. If you're for everyone, I always say Tesla shouldn't sell energy drinks, Red Bull shouldn't sell cars. So I'm a very unique flavor of ice cream, for lack of better phrasing, and not everyone likes Rocky Road, okay? My absolutely people are people who have high humility, who are sick and tired of complacency, and who have high work ethic, and they really, really, really want to reach their potential. They don't talk about it, they really want to. Those are my people. If that's you, you will love Kev, you'll love me. We both are strivers, not arrivers. We grew up without fathers. We started from nothing. No generational wealth, no trust fund. Like, build it yourself, do it yourself. And yes, no one does anything great alone. However, one great person can make a great team, because you can set the standard and you can set the pace. So if that's you, please reach out. Instagram, that'll be me. LinkedIn, Facebook, DM me. It will actually be me, not an AI bot, not my executive admin. It'll be me. You can send me an email, alan@nextleveluniverse.com. The website is nextleveluniverse.com. The podcast is Next Level University. We also have Podcast Growth University and Business Growth University. So it's level up yourself, level up your podcast, level up your business. We have something for anyone who wants to make their dreams a reality through podcasting, business, and self-improvement. My absolutely not people. If this is you, do not reach out under any circumstance. If you want big rewards for minimal effort, you're not going to like me, you're not going to like my company, you're not going to like Kevin, you're not going to like my team. We are tryhards who are striving, not arriving. We don't believe in entitlement. We believe in earning it every single day. You can never own success. You can only rent it, and the rent is due every day. So if you believe what we believe, please reach out. If you don't, please do not under any circumstances, because it's going to be a waste of both of our time.
That sums a lot of things up, your motive, your value, and the people you want to work with, right? It sets the standard for who you want to work with and who the people that should be reaching out to. Now, if you can just keep this short, this is the question that I had in mind. So we talked about the graph going up, we talked about the graph going down, but what happens, what should one do when the graph is flat?
Well, so I always think of this, you're either growing apart, growing together, or you're running in parallel, but I don't know if parallel is a thing.
Mm-hmm.
I coach couples. I actually just got off of one. My girlfriend and I, we have a podcast called the Conscious Couples Podcast, and we talk about this. And if you're on YouTube, you can see my hands going back and forth, and you're growing together, then apart, then together, then apart, then assuming you're checking in and having deep conversations. I would say for someone who feels complacent and like they've flatlined, I call it coast mode, green, yellow, red. So green is you're green and growing, and your life is probably hard, especially socially. Yellow is you're kind of coasting. You're not really winning. You're not really losing. You're just kind of flatlining. I would say get a coach, get books, get resources, get someone in your corner who has higher standards than you. And then the third one is you're getting worse, and that's very hedonistic. So green and growing is you're investing today for a brighter tomorrow. Red and dying is you're enjoying today at the expense of your future. And then yellow is you're kind of stuck in the middle. So I would say if you're yellow, nothing grows on the fence, get off the fence.
Thank you so much. That one was insightful, yeah. And that sums up the conversation beautifully as well. So to the audience, if you've been listening and watching intently and you're still here, do leave a like if you liked what we talked about. The comment section is always open for suggestions, adding perspectives to the conversation, and anything else, recommendations as well. And don't forget to subscribe before you close the window itself. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you, Alan.
Thank you for having me. Thank you. I appreciate it. This is awesome. If you ever want to do a round two, just let me know.
Sure.